The Galactic Council always believed that humans were slow learners. For years, they had called Earth a quiet world, a place that produced nothing special. Most council members laughed whenever someone mentioned humanity's old wars or their lost colonies. To them, humans were nothing more than a distant memory, weak, silent, and forgotten. Commander Rian knew this very well. He had served the council for 20 years, watched meeting after meeting where leaders joked about Earth. That was why, when the emergency alarm rang across the council hall, he expected another meaningless report. Maybe a pirate attack. Maybe a border accident. But when he stepped inside the chamber, the room was silent. No one was laughing. No one was speaking. Every council member stared at the giant holoscreen in front of them. Rian took one look and felt his breath stop. A massive asteroid belt floated on the display, glowing with heat, because something had passed straight through it. Not around. Not between. Through. A perfect tunnel was cut across thousands of kilometers of rock. "Replay the footage," the council head whispered. The screen flashed again. A tiny human warship appeared at the edge of the asteroid belt. It was smaller than most council cruisers, nothing special to look at. But then the ship turned, its long railgun barrels glowing bright white. A second later, a blinding flash tore across space. A single railgun shot passed through the entire asteroid field like it was made of paper. The shockwave vaporized a pirate fleet hiding behind the rocks. Everything, ships, dust, debris, turned into nothing but light. Rian felt chills run down his spine. "That was one shot?" he asked quietly. The council head nodded without taking his eyes off the screen. "One." Murmurs spread across the chamber. A few members whispered in fear. Others shouted, demanding answers. "This is impossible. Humans cannot do this. They were supposed to be decades behind us." Rian watched them argue, but he kept his eyes on the screen. Something inside him told him this was only the beginning. He replayed the moment in his mind, the human ship, silent and calm, firing a railgun blast stronger than anything the council had built. A technology leap like this did not happen overnight. Humans had been hiding. Preparing. Advancing in secret. The council knew nothing. A younger council member stood up, shaking. "If humans have this kind of power now, what else have they created?" No one answered. Another hollow screen lit up. This time, it showed small colonies across the outer sectors. Aliens of weaker races gathered around makeshift screens, watching the same footage. Their faces were full of emotion, not fear. But hope. "If humans can do that," one alien whispered, "maybe they can protect us." The council head slammed his fist on the table. "We do not need protection. The council is in control." But even he sounded unsure. Rian stepped forward. "Commander Rian reporting," he said. "I request permission to investigate the source of this railgun shot. We must know how Earth developed this weapon." The council head stared at him for a long moment and then nodded. "Very well. You will travel to the frontier system. Find out everything." As Rian walked out of the chamber, he felt the weight of the moment settle on him. The council was breaking, and they all knew it. He boarded a fast scout ship and left for the outer sectors. During the flight, he replayed the railgun footage again and again. Each time, he felt the same shock. The same fear. And something else. Curiosity. What kind of people could create a weapon that cut space itself? Hours later, his ship exited hyperjump over a quiet mining colony. But the silence did not last. Civilians ran to the landing pads as soon as he arrived. "You saw it, right?" a miner shouted. "The humans. They are back. They destroyed the pirates. In one shot. They saved us." Rian listened, stunned. The council never gained this kind of trust. But one railgun shot from humanity had spread hope faster than any speech. As he looked at their hopeful faces, he understood something clearly. The Council did not lose control because humans fired a railgun. They lost control because the galaxy wanted humanity to return. Rian felt a tremor under his feet. The ground shook slightly. Someone pointed at the sky. A bright flash lit the horizon. Rian froze. Was it another railgun? No. It was something stranger, something he did not recognize. He felt the first wave of fear rise inside him. The railgun was only the beginning. Humanity had more surprises waiting. And the galaxy was about to witness the next one. Commander Rian expected things to calm down after the railgun shockwave. He thought the Council would regain control, silence the rumors, and force the galaxy to forget what they saw. But life in the frontier sectors felt different. The air was heavy, like everyone was waiting for something else, something bigger, to arrive. Rian walked through the mining colony, gathering reports from frightened workers. They kept repeating one thing. If humans can do that with a railgun, what will they do next? Rian did not know the answer. But he felt it coming. That night, alarms echoed across the colony. Explosions thundered far away, shaking windows and rattling metal walls. A pirate clan, angry after losing their fleet, had returned for revenge. The colony had no defenses strong enough to survive. People ran through the streets, searching for shelter. Rian grabbed a communit. Council fleet. Where are the reinforcements? Static. Then a broken voice replied, 2 hours away, maybe more. 2 hours. The colony would not last 10 minutes. He clenched his jaw, prepared to face whatever happened next. But then, before the next explosion hit, every sound in the colony suddenly stopped. The air shimmered. A strange pulse rolled through the streets, like a ripple in reality itself. The ground did not shake, space did. Rian looked up. And then he saw them. Figures appeared out of thin air, humans, teleporting directly into the colony. 1 second the street was empty. The next, squads of armored human soldiers stood in formation, glowing blue particles fading around their boots. Rian's eyes widened. No, this cannot be real. He had seen teleportation only in old myths and impossible research notes. The Council declared it a scientific dead end centuries ago. But humans were doing it effortlessly. Human soldiers raised their rifles, scanning the area. One of them nodded to Rian politely, as if appearing from thin air was a normal greeting. Stand back, Commander, the soldier said. We will secure the colony. Rian stepped back, unable to speak. The pirate attack continued outside the city. Heavy weapons fired, shaking the ground. But the human teleport squad simply vanished, blinking out of existence with a soft sound, only to reappear behind enemy lines. Rian watched the battle on a holofeed. Humans teleported into enemy ships, disabling engines before pirates even realized they were boarded. They reappeared on rooftops, on cliffs, inside tunnels, everywhere pirates tried to hide. It was not war. It was precision. It was control. It was perfection. The pirates broke within minutes. Their ships tried to flee, but human gunships jumped directly into their escape paths, cutting engines with pinpoint shots. Within 20 minutes, the entire pirate force was defeated. 20 minutes. Rian sank onto a metal crate, shocked. The Council fleets took hours. Humans took minutes. The colony erupted in cheers. Miners hugged each other, shouting. Humans saved us. We are safe now. They came for us. And again, Rian heard the same dangerous word echo everywhere, hope. Hope was more powerful than any weapon. And the Council did not have it. Later, Rian approached the human commander, a woman with sharp eyes and silver armor lit with blue energy cores. How, how are you doing this? Rian finally asked. Teleportation violates every known law of science. She smiled. Your laws. Not ours. Rian's heart thudded. Humans were not just stronger. They were ahead, far ahead. The commander stepped closer. We did not come to attack the council. We came because people like these miners needed help. You saw what happened when we did nothing. Rian sighed. He knew she was right. The council had ignored the frontier worlds for too long. And if the council opposes you, he asked quietly. The commander looked at the burning horizon, where pirate ships still smoked. Then the council will need to decide what matters more, control or survival. Rian felt a deep shift inside him. The railgun was a warning. But teleportation. Teleportation was a message. Humans were not working in secret to destroy the galaxy. They were preparing to save it. The council, however, would never accept that. Their power depended on fear, not hope. Rian looked at the cheering crowd again and understood the truth. The council had already lost this system. And if humans kept revealing new technology at this speed, the whole galaxy would follow. Commander Rian returned to the council capital with a troubled mind. His shuttle drifted through the massive space gates, past the proud golden towers and shining banners that once represented order and strength. But this time, the city felt different. Too quiet. Too tense. Something had changed. When he walked into the council hall, he found chaos, not the loud, angry chaos of politicians fighting, but a silent, nervous chaos. Leaders paced. Advisors whispered. Security officers avoided eye contact. Everyone looked, scared. Rian stepped forward. Report the situation. A junior officer swallowed hard. Sir, half the outer colonies have requested Earth's protection. Rian froze. Half. The officer nodded. Small races are declaring neutrality. Some openly say they trust humans more than the council. That hit the chamber harder than any railgun blast. Rian knew this was coming. The railgun shock started the fear. Teleportation filled the galaxy with wonder. And now, the galaxy had turned away from its rulers. As he watched the leaders argue, he noticed something else. Some members were missing, entire delegations absent from their seats. Where is the Carthy counselor? Rian asked. Gone, the officer replied. Left during the night. Their star system voted to join Earth's alliance. And the Rylo's representative? Abandoned their position. Their people requested human peacekeepers. The council was crumbling from the inside. One of the senior members slammed his hand on the table. This is rebellion. Humanity is stealing our worlds. But Rian stepped forward calmly. Humanity did nothing. They saved the colonies when we did not. The people chose them. Silence. Painful, heavy silence. The truth was harder to accept than any attack. The council head stood up, face pale. We must show strength. We must prove the council still holds power. How? Rian asked softly. With ships that cannot match human weapons. With soldiers who cannot teleport. With colonies that no longer trust us. The council head clenched his fists. We have one option left. We strike first. Rian stared at him, shocked. Strike, humans. Yes. Destroy one ship. Send a message. Show the galaxy who is in control. Rian felt a cold shiver crawl down his spine. This was madness. The council was not trying to protect anyone anymore, they were trying to protect their pride. But he knew they would not listen. The order was signed that same night. A secret strike fleet would attack a lone human scout ship patrolling the neutral zone. Rian was forced to join the operation as a witness. When the Council fleet entered the region, Rian felt sick. The human scout ship appearing on the scans looked harmless, almost peaceful. It drifted quietly among drifting rocks, its hull glowing faint blue in the darkness. "This is your great threat," the Council's admiral said mockingly. Rian opened his mouth to warn them, to beg them to stop, but it was already too late. "Fire!" the admiral shouted. Dozens of Council ships launched their missiles toward the lone human vessel. Explosions filled the darkness. Rian closed his eyes. Then, the radar went silent. Every officer in the room stared at their screens in confusion. No readings. No damage confirmation. Where is the human ship? A faint hum filled the air. Then the stars behind them flickered. A massive shadow appeared out of nowhere. A human dreadnought, larger than anything the Council had ever seen, teleported behind their entire fleet, glowing with enormous energy fields swirling along its sharp metal hull. The dreadnought's cannons rotated slowly, calmly, like a teacher correcting a child's mistake. The Council admiral fell to his knees. This is impossible." Rian whispered, "This is what happens when you strike someone who was trying to help." The human dreadnought broadcast a single message across the ships. "We detected hostility. Stand down immediately. We will not fire unless you force us." The Council fleet did not move. They could not. One shot from that dreadnought would erase them from the stars. No one spoke. No one breathed. They had reached the moment they feared most. Humanity had appeared not as a threat, but as the unstoppable protector of a galaxy that had already chosen them. Rian realized then that the Council was finished, not because of humans, but because of their own arrogance. The dreadnought disappeared in a burst of white light, teleporting away with impossible speed. The Council fleet turned back in silence, knowing everything had changed forever. And Rian knew one thing. There was no going back now. The Council fleet returned to the capital in complete silence. No victory songs. No speeches. No pride. Only shame. The attack that was meant to prove power had done the opposite, it had exposed the truth. The galaxy was no longer under Council control. Commander Rian walked through the capital's main hall. Crowds filled the streets, murmuring nervously. Some looked angry, some confused, but most looked afraid. Large screens displayed breaking news from across the galaxy. 3 more systems request human peacekeepers. Outer Rim declares neutrality from Council rule. Human dreadnought sighted at Trade Route Delta. Rian watched it all unfold. The fear growing in the Council house. The hope rising in the streets. The Council head stood at the balcony, preparing to address the people. But his voice trembled. The Council remains the rightful authority. Before he could finish, the main screen behind him flickered. A new broadcast cut through every channel, every signal, every world. A calm human voice filled the sky. Rian turned slowly. A human commander appeared on the giant hologram. Silver armor. Blue teleport energy glowing around her shoulders. The same calm woman who had rescued the mining colony. She looked straight into the camera. Straight into the galaxy. "People of the Council worlds," she began, her voice steady, warm, and heavy with honesty. "We intercepted your fleet today. We did not destroy it. We could have." Gasps spread through the crowd. Even the Council froze. "We did not come to conquer. We came because your worlds asked for help." Rian felt something shift around him, an invisible veil lifting. The commander continued. "Your Council hid dangers growing beyond the border clusters. Threats they could not stop. Threats they refused to face." Rian remembered the pirates. The ignored colonies. The abandoned systems. Everything clicked together. "We built railguns because they were needed," she said. "We built teleporters because time was running out. We stepped into your space because you called us. A deep quiet settled over the capital. The commander raised her hand, and a map of the galaxy appeared, red zones indicating danger, glowing across dozens of systems the council claimed were stable. They were not. There is a storm coming, the commander warned. And you deserve protection. Then, without warning, the sky above the capital lit up. People gasped. Panic spread. But what appeared was not an attack. A colossal human dreadnought uncloaked above the city, casting a shadow across half the skyline. It hovered silently, peaceful, but powerful beyond anything the council had ever controlled. Then portals opened across the sky, blue spirals of teleport light. Human rescue ships emerged from them. Hundreds of smaller vessels descended to ground level, delivering food, medicine, and engineers. Everywhere, humans helped civilians, repaired failing systems, stabilized infrastructure. Not one weapon fired. Not one threat made. Rian watched a human medic kneel beside an injured alien child, healing her wounds with soft blue light. The mother cried, whispering, "Thank you, thank you, thank you." The council head finally broke. "Stop them," he shouted. "They are stealing our authority." But the citizens no longer listened. They stepped away from him. Moved toward the humans. Chosen by their own will. Rian looked at the council head and spoke quietly, "They were never yours to control." The council head stared at him in disbelief, then at the crowds cheering for the humans. His face drained of color. "The council is finished," Rian said softly. "No anger. No fear. Just truth." At that very moment, the human commander's voice returned through every speaker. "We do not want your thrones. We want your safety. Stand with us, and the galaxy will not fall." People lifted their hands toward the sky in agreement. Tears filled Rian's eyes. For the first time in his life, he felt hope. The hologram dimmed. The human dreadnought drifted higher, preparing to leave. But before it vanished into light, the commander delivered her final line. "The council lost control the moment you realized something important." She paused. "We are here to help." The dreadnought disappeared in a flash of white energy. The galaxy stood silent. Then, slowly, applause spread from world to world. Humanity had not just returned. They had risen. And the stars, once ruled by fear, now looked a little brighter. Because the Deathworlders were here. And they were on the galaxy's side.